Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my new podcast where I'm going to be talking all things running. So this is going to start off as a bit of a solo podcast, and hopefully as we go on we'll get some more people on and talk all things running. So to introduce myself, my name is Blair, the head coach of B Road Runs. It started off as Broad Runs, but it seems like it's been taken over by everyone using the different names, so we're sticking with it for now. I'm a running coach based here in the UAE, in Dubai. Been coaching here now for 2 years for all sorts of runners. So for people who are doing, marathon distance, maybe first 5K, maybe people looking to do their first half marathon 10Ks. And more recently, I've been delving into the world of high rocks, which obviously you probably know has been pretty popular recently, and definitely gaining sort of a bit of traction in the fitness world, taking over a bit of the CrossFit audience. But it's predominantly a running sport, so been coaching people in that space. And just sort of love all things running and talk anything fitness wise. So the reason I wanted to do this was just to sort of have it more as a sort of platform for me, just to sort of put my thoughts in, rather than sort of expecting anything out of it. To be honest, just have a bit of a chat to the camera and see what comes out of it. So I guess you could say that I'm a relatively new coach. Only have coaching running for the last 4 years. A bit of my background: I used to be rugby player turned runner when some unfortunate illness came around and had to give up all things contact sports. So now doing everything to do with running and just put my main focus in there. Qualified as a qualified USCA run coach about a year and a half ago, and then also qualified as a certified personal trainer and PT, just to sort of cement my background knowledge on all things on that. I'm also sort of big on like people coaching. In a bit about myself before, I was previously in the UK Armed Forces, and led lots of teams in there. Different people from different backgrounds. Found that helping sort of mentor and coach them was really helpful, and then also with my previous job as an engineer was also managing and coaching lots of people in teams. So I find that majority of pretty much everything we do is just like coaching individuals and people, and comes a lot down to that. Obviously, doing specific run stuff does help, and especially for what I'm doing now with running. But I'm always interested to hear people's stories and how they sort of cope with what everything's going on. Life's a bit hectic, so I'm always interested in that kind of thing. I would say that I would probably be mainly targeting runners sort of from the beginner to intermediate stage. I do have some more advanced runners on which I consult with, that's mainly where I'm aiming my coaching sort of practice at. Obviously, it does change from person to person. No two people's the same. And out of all the hundreds of runners that I've coached over the last few years, I wouldn't say anyone's ever been the same. And I've come across similar problems, but never came across the exact same one. So it's always good to sort of get new people to new experiences, and put hopefully my knowledge onto them, and they can hopefully learn something. I also like to sort of teach people when I'm sort of coaching, to make sure that when you are getting coached by me, you are, learning. So eventually you should be at a point where you feel like you could probably walk away and you have enough knowledge to maybe formulate your own training plans and, get to where you want to go to. It's not trying to gatekeep information. It's trying to be as open and honest as possible. So I started this podcast as just a way to sort of maybe put together a few examples of different runners that I've coached before in the past, and just maybe something that might be relevant to you. You might be listening already thinking this is boring, this isn't for me. That's fine. It's just more for a little resource just to maybe speak to a few people on sort of a low budget level. And yeah, so that's a sort of short introduction to me. And yeah, that's just the intro, and then we'll get into a few different episodes we're going to cover. Hopefully in the next few episodes we're going to cover some goals, setting goals, common mistakes I see people to do, different essentials that you need to be starting to run, building your running routine. So if I'm not going to coach you, what you would probably do for your own running routine, and then try and speak a bit about nutrition for running. I want to do a podcast on cross-training for runners, something that I'm really passionate about as someone who does triathlons and biking myself. And obviously there's different other cross-training things we can do, strength training. I want to talk about different race day strategies, which hopefully we'll have some people on from there. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But thanks very much for listening, and here we go.